I did know that.
Wow. Time now for the most competitive segment in all of televised sports. It's must win. Quick note, I'll address the note in a second. CJ versus Mahomes. Both teams in the playoffs. Both quarterbacks having kind of down years statistically, but Greg made a good point. Teams a little bit of mirror images of each other. Winning ugly, getting it done, winning the division. Very interesting. CJ, however, struggled against teams with winning records. Last year he was cooking. This year 1-3. Eek. Less than 19 points. Nick, we're going to start with you and go clockwise. Is this a must-win for Houston if they are real contenders?
Obviously, it's a must-win, and unfortunately, their defensive tackle, Tim Settle, has put them in a rough spot. Here's Tim Settle a few hours ago talking about, well, Patrick Mahomes. Threats are making promises. Luckily, the board's already out here. We must get the board from the off-season board to the regular season board. Tim Settle. Grand opening, grand closing, my friend. Wow. Making promises, not threats. We haven't had an addition to the board since the committee put the Bills atop the tiers, and they got put on the board because of it. So, Tim Settle on the board. Obviously, Houston's got to win to be contenders, and even if they win, Brew, they still ain't contenders, but they're not going to win.
What?
I'm just telling you right now.
Did
even
he ruin his segment?
Go ahead, bro. There's an opening.
Segment. That was a good. First, look. It's obviously a yes because no one views them, I mean, Nick just said, as contenders right now. They're viewed as tiers below. I mean, Greg's trying to,
Don't do that.
He's just sticking with his pick, which I respect.
You're sticking with yours. We have the same record.
I got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, all right? But you got Kansas City, and then you got Buffalo and Baltimore and Pittsburgh. They're the fifth best team.
Below Baltimore?
Yes, I did. They're the fifth best team in the AFC. They're in there with the Chargers and the Broncos, who we know can't win the AFC. But you said it 1-3 against winning teams, not just CJ, but the whole team. But you know who they beat? Buffalo. If the Houston Texans, I'm gonna give you a little love, Greg. If the Houston Texans enter the playoffs with the Chiefs and the Bills on their resume, and victories over those teams.
You know who they play next week?
Come on, talk about it.
Don't even
talk about it.
But if they added the Ravens, I mean, they've got a chance to really make us stand up and pay attention to them. They do have a great defense. As much as I don't like Tim Settle talking trash,
filibustering here.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. This is the good Greg double. This is a must-win, and it's a must-play well. Look. You got to win. It's singular reason why they must win. The only quarterback going into the postseason in the AFC with a win over the great Patrick Mahomes, and you tell me this team wouldn't be a contender? Are you kidding me? It's a must play well because if you don't end up winning, you want to still go into that game with some confidence in the postseason, with some confidence if you have to see this guy in the postseason, knowing that we just slipped up. And you're on the board now. So, Tim, you making promises. I want to see you off the board because you come through on the promise. Let's go get this dub.
The board was his thing. You tried to.
And Wilds,
credit for the board.
I am glancing at the score sheet.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
Okay.
Nick is up 1-0. Actually, 2-0 because last week he kept talking about Steelers-Ravens. It cost him the game.
You don't remember last week he gave me a point for this week?
Yeah. That was a joke.
No, it was serious.
That was an insult because he went off script.
Saturday, 4:30 on Fox. Zay Flowers is confident. Not sure how Lamar should feel because Mike Tomlin's defense has been his kryptonite. 1-4 as a starter. 19 points a game. Not great. Brew, you're in a 2-0 hole here. Is this a must-win for your guy, Lamar?
It is.
Ooh.
All right, Lamar, I know you're not scared. I know you're not shaking. I know you're not worried, unlike some people on this set. You just happen to have some bad games against the Steelers. All right? But you got to go out there and quiet the noise. Because if you struggle again and lose, even if you just lose, you just got to win this game. the noise will get louder and louder and louder. And yesterday, Nick was very honest in a rare, he was honest. I'm not going to say rare. He was honest. He said Brew shook him to his take core, has shaken him to his take core before. So if Nick can be shaken and lose a little confidence, it can happen to anybody. So Lamar, you don't want to be 1-5 against the Steelers team you might meet in the playoffs. Yeah. So you got to get this dub.
Yeah, this is a must-win. Could you imagine going into the postseason if you're Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, and you have 2 kryptonites that you got to go through?
Well, 3.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, yeah, you
Kansas City Chiefs.
The
and the playoffs as a whole.
I knew that was, it's like you can't. There is no way. There's no way that you will have extreme confidence, and Brew will be up here sitting around eating sandwiches because you get it done. You can't lose against the Steelers this week. You got to get it done, so you only have 1 kryptonite, and maybe the thing that Nick is talking about too.
Right. So just real quick before I give my answer. So Brew, because you're very judicious with calling things must-wins for your teams. So if the Steelers lose this week, are you like I was with the NFC, a Super Bowl free agent?
Wow.
AFC bachelor?
Is must-win literal?
No.
Okay, all right, I was just making sure. All right, now, no, let me just...
He knows it's not literal.
Quickly answer the question.
If they lose, they're 100%.
What Greg was referring to, Dusty the graphic, if we may. I mean, we all know.
This is your kryptonite.
This is what it is. I mean, Lamar Jackson, right-hand column, is that the greatest quarterback in NFL history? Probably. Lamar Jackson, left-hand column, is that early Kyle Orton? Yeah, I think so. And so you've already lost the Chiefs this year. In the calendar year of 2024, you have lost to the Chiefs twice and the Steelers once. If all of a sudden you're 0-4 against those teams and then the playoffs looming there, not good. It's an obvious must-win.
Literal, right?
You've got the point, but you had the point, so it's still 2-0.
No, what do you mean?
You get 2 points for 1, you have the point.
Okay.
It was still open for other people, but you kept it.
It's like graphic we've
like a
seen
championship
17
belt.
Well,
times.
no, actually, Brew, we saw that a bunch leading up to the previous game, but now there's an extra loss in the column and the turnovers went up and all that stuff.
Eagles Commanders. Jalen Hurts flipped the script last week, passing more often and better than he had in the previous 9 weeks. Eagles offense during the 10-game win streak here, Greg. All of a sudden against the Steelers, like, you know what, we'll pass more. 32 pass attempts. A.J. Brown was happy and threw for 270 yards. So this is a little bit of a curveball here, Greg. Is this a must-win through the air for the Birds?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I like this.
Look, you sound like my little friends when I talk to them, and they're like, yeah, let's just let Jalen Hurts just throw the ball now against a team that has a better pass defense than run defense. And something that we do very well, we run the ball. But let's not do that because the grass is greener when we throw. Shut up. Sit your butt down somewhere. Wow. No, man, run the ball. That's what you do. It provides you with winning. Just run the ball.
He put that arrow in his quiver of tape. He can fire it sometimes. That's a good one.
When you said little friend, is it an adult or a child?
It's a little Brew down here.
Oh, Brew. Wow. Wow.
I thought it was like a Little Penny character. Kind of just like a fictitious character.
Listen, sadly, and I don't like this, because I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows that.
The Eagles have set themselves up here where, they have 2 ways to lose. Losing or winning without throwing the ball a lot. Because then we're right back in that media narrative that they started. So now the only way to have a clean, everything's all good victory is doing what they did last week, which is not their best way to win football games in my opinion. But Jalen Hurts came out quite cocksure saying, grass is green where you water it, and is that what you guys wanted to see? And now when you give folks what they wanted to see, they want to see more of it. So, it can't be 105 yards passing and have that be all good. I'm telling you right now. Like, it doesn't have to be 300 yards, but it can't be what it was the previous 4 weeks where he's
Caleb-esque.
Caleb's actually thrown for plenty of yards.
I'm confused.
First half, Caleb.
Well, did you understand Wilds? I'm not really.
I'm confused. What is winning through the air?
At least 225 yards.
Oh, really? 225 yards is winning through the air?
Yeah, 210.
I mean, I don't know how you can say they must win through the air, but not 300, just 225.
No, 300 would be great, but it's not mandatory.
All right. Look, it's not a win through the air. All right? Philadelphia, you have an identity. Don't let people change who you are.
The people are on their own team.
You're not going to beat Kansas City or Detroit or whoever you have to beat, these high-powered offenses, Baltimore, in a shootout. You play smash-mouth football. You got the best running back in the league. You got one of the best running quarterbacks in the league. This is your formula. You have the best defense in the league. So you run the ball, your defense shuts them down, and you keep the other offense off the field. You run the ball down teams' throats. You take their manhood.
He did it already. He said all this, but with a funny voice.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I said it with force.
I know, but the funny voice, man.
Force versus funny.
Funny wins a lot.
It does.
Right now, you're getting shut out. But the board is yours.
Something's afoot.
No, man, he crushed it.
Something's afoot.
He went first and killed it with the funny voice. 49ers, Dolphins. You know, some people had this as a Super Bowl preview. It's kind of went the other way.
Here's where I make my run. Is this the money ball?
Purdy's numbers are down, and he's coming off a woeful Thursday night game. Here's Purdy's numbers this season. I got to consult with Dusty. Dusty, do we have time for one more? Or is this the money ball? This is the money ball. It is worth 3. So, bro, it's your guy.
Shine.
can't make
it is my time. It is my turn.
Yes, it's your turn to go. Unless
This is
you don't
where
want
I
to go
shine.
first. Here we go.
All right, look, I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
I don't pick the games for this segment. But surprise, surprise, it's the rare DMW. Double must win. We haven't seen one in weeks. Double must win, and here's why. Both
Rare
guys need a
DMW.
win. But so for Tua, what's the rap on Tua? Other than cold weather, it's not going to be cold. He can't beat good teams.
This isn't a good team.
Hear me out. He can't beat playoff teams.
They're not a playoff team.
Yes, they are not. And Purdy hasn't beaten many good teams this year.
They're not a
either.
good team either.
You're right. But people think they are.
No.
They seem
No, they
like
do
good
seem
teams.
like
They
it.
feel like good teams.
Yeah, with
San
Tua.
Francisco is actually a good team.
No,
but
they're not.
But they're
They
injured.
feel like it, though.
And Miami just, they feel like a
Yeah.
good team, right?
Yeah,
Tua,
Tyreek Hill.
Mike McDaniel can
Yeah, Mike
coach. He's
McDaniel's out
cerebral. So you get the benefit of playing a bad team that people think is a good team. So if
Both
you
teams
win
do.
this game, Tua, people are going to be like, you know what? But Tua beat San Francisco. You said he can't win.
Yeah,
he beat
like,
San
what?
Francisco.
Really? Like,
And
really?
for Brock, they're going to say, wait a minute. He beat Tampa Bay. He
Playoff
beat
team.
Seattle. He beat Miami. He outdueled Baker. He did outduel Baker. He outdueled Geno Smith, Nick's favorite quarterback, and he outdueled Tua. So this is the double must win, and it's there for the taking because neither team's as good as their reputation and
Is
image.
Greg going to get to go?
Yeah,
It'd be hard
I mean,
to
that
beat.
was good.
That's going to be hard to beat.
It's
You wanna
really
just give it to
simple,
me?
Brock. Look, sorry, buddy. You're a tomato can.
Wow, he's stealing your
You
bit.
guys are a tomato can.
Your own bit
My
against
bit.
you.
You
But
said
you know
my
what you
bit.
do?
He's
What?
stealing
What
my
do
You
bit.
actually beat up on
Thievery
other
doesn't
tomato
work.
cans.
Oh, now see, I never understood.
You
that.
actually beat up on other tomato cans, so you actually are the better version of tomatoes. I don't know what type of tomato
Marzano.
San Marzano.
what you are,
Marzano.
but you're the better version. And so just do what you've done all season because this is the only way you seem to get wins is when you play teams like this that don't have records above 500. So just go ahead and beat up on all the tomato cans, buddy.
You said you docked points when he stole Nick's board, so you can't help him. He's just
You-
trying
you
to
didn't
steal
say anything
everything.
about the tomato can.
That's my bit.
Okay.
It's a must-win for Purdy. It's simple as that. It's like Brew. I don't know if America's seen it. Brew is soft launching a Brock Purdy take departure. It started yesterday with. Listen, I'd sign him. He's a franchise guy. Might be Drew Brees one day. I love him. Top of tier 2. I might make him play for $1 million though. If the guy wants big money. And so, if he loses to Tua, who Brew has brought break dancers out to mock, who has called soft, who all of these things, and all of a sudden they're 6-9, not great. So it's a must-win for Brew.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.